Everybody, morning. Excuse me. Dawn. So today's episode is brought to you by channel members. So thank you, everybody. Always, as usual, I just thought I'd throw that in there. Like, thank you for being a channel member and a supporter of the channel. I couldn't do this without you. And my dad brought me a steak, egg, bagel right before I go live. So I've got like half of it sitting here, and I just couldn't do this without y'all. So on to right here, streaks. Don't want to, prolong, deliver on the promise of the title and thumbnail. Streaks, look at this. We have the current streak right here, the longest one in since 2000, basically. Not another big long streak like this exists in the 2020s or 2000s, I guess. 62 days above the 20-day moving average. Now, how long does this continue? History says we could extend this out to at least 100 days. 1964. I mean, crazy can keep getting crazier, right? So there's nothing that says this can't keep going. 97, 76 days, and that wasn't even into the top. Now, 99, we did see kind of the longest streak in the NASDAQ. It's also setting a record for a number of days above the 20-day moving average. 20-day commonly watched by a lot of algorithms and big traders and whatever, and worth noting. But this one too, retail participation is now bigger than back here in the peak hype meme days. So retail traders are all in and making up like 25% of the volume. I think that's what it says. Daily retail participation, 10-day moving average. We're looking at 25% of all the volume out there is now people like us. Usually it's big traders and algorithms. So that's kind of wild right there. Usually we're hovering down here around 15%. We're up to 25%. This is the record. This is an all-time record right here. Like, retail participation never been higher. What could possibly go wrong? I don't think this is going to keep up. So be careful out there is the bottom line. So back to channel members. Thank you. Couldn't do this without you. Don, David, Sergio, Mark, Rob, Jerry, Craig, Donald, Scott, Terry, Skaggs, Hugh, Swinburne, Arturo, Will, Logan, Mad, Diane, General Rush, good to see you, sir. Frank, Diana, Andrew, Ed, Al, Be Like Water, Nancy, Ted, Rungamer, Ivan, Kimberly, my favorite subscriber, about as far away as she can get from me. Anyway, so just keep it in mind, we are in unusual times. Right here. Diane, Diana, Deanna, all the D's that watch me. Welcome to the show. So, dun dun dun. Just a reminder, I am on Profit Panel today. For those of you who like the show, I'm thinking about starting a new show though, with not really a sidekick, but a co-host maybe, and be completely independent of. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I told Goose we should do something, but he's tied up until he retires from the airline. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we bring him into to this show. I'm potentially gonna partner with another guru for maybe a daily show, maybe just a couple times a week. We'll see what happens. Golly, excuse me. Not sure. Some of my steak probably went down the wrong way, I guess. And CMG. So some of you follow me on CMG. Got put some shares. Not too concerned at the moment. I am at 49 with my sold puts. This is drifting on down, and we have the potential to come down here. Now, if and when I probably take those shares tonight at 49, I'm looking for, 49 drawn right in there. I am looking for like a 30% downside before I even consider adding anything. So we're going to be down here It's 35 area. Set an alert here. Set another alert here. So that's what I'm looking at, and I don't even know why the alerts aren't showing up. That's cool. Love it. Let's see. Yeah, not showing up. Awesome. Freaking thing. Let's see what we gotta reload, I guess. Try to get TradingView to be responsive. Probably time me out and say, oh, you need to connect from the other computer. All right. So we're looking at down here. So our Soul Strike. That's where we're going to get put. Look at it. 30% downside. That's going to be right in there. Set a couple alerts down here to start looking at that. If we go down there, I don't think we will. I think we're going to hang out. Golly. That feels like a piece of fuzz is stuck in my throat. So I fully expect us to hold above this low and bounce. But if we dip down in here, that's it. I mean, that's, went after the most bullish, one of the most bullish. That's weird. How did I even start an arrow? Went after one of the bullish things, but yeah, sometimes they do something different. Throw you a curveball. And the other one, chewy. Right here. I went aggressive at a 39. And now we're hanging out right here on the roadmap line. As I've said many times, we might dip into this zone right here. Absolutely beautiful correction type territory. This was, I felt strongly enough about this potential pattern right here. I kind of wanted to get put shares because this upside bounce potential. I mean, look at that. That's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Now, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the stocks and things I do in the 50K challenge. As you can see, all time, almost $21,000. If you've been with me for the last 3 months, you've watched this go from negative 500 to $21,000, just shy of $21,000. And just this year, made 21.4. I did have a long-term loss in this account. It goes way out here. I see I was down $500 when I started this challenge. How you consistently make money. That's exactly what I'm trying to show you how to do. Right here. Getting put shares doesn't, I don't sweat it. Like, that's how I made this big money right here. If I didn't get put shares, I wouldn't have that big win right there. Wouldn't exist. So getting put shares is not even like a bad thing at all. I sell these puts intending to buy the shares. Like, if you ever sell any kind of credit spread and you don't intend to take shares, you're setting yourself up for bad time. All right. Now, there are special occasions like XSP. There's no getting put shares. SPX, those index type 1265 contracts, they settle in cash, European style. They don't settle in shares. But if you're going to sell anything, even a credit spread, if you ever sell an option, you should be willing to take the shares at that price. Now, the one exception is if you do a debit spread, then all you're doing with the sold contract is reducing or limiting. Well, you're doing two things. You're reducing your cost and you're limiting your potential upside. So be careful there. Now, when I take the shares, I'm going to be selling upside calls with the goal of bringing in premium, and there's not going to be a single upside call I sell that I'm not willing to sell those shares for. the goal is up here, but I may only get that much. Prime example of that right now, staring down Docu, I sold the 80 strike calls. There's the market open. I sold the 80 strike, and now that's exactly where we're sitting. Sitting right on it. Now, this one also has a large potential upside. Like, oh, you're going to miss out on that $35 potential upside. Well, if I get called out, if I can't roll them or something like that for profit and credit, then so be it. I'll just probably sell another put next week. So there's some fine, what is this strategy called? It's called the wheel, but I add so most wheel traders can't predict the price. Like they don't even try to predict where price is going next. But I have this, sometimes I get lucky on predicting price, and luck happens more often than not for me. I've gotten to where I can make predictions and they come true more often than not. So that's the benefit of learning price action. The news doesn't matter. And so I layer that on top of the wheel strategy. Wheel traders in general, they're kind of, we'll just sell at support and then for puts. And then when we rise, we sell above our cost on rises. And they never really have a big picture plan, price target plan in place. So I add this price action, voodoo I do, as some of you call it. And now I call it the turbo wheel because I'm adding that layer on top of being able to predict the price action. So what are put shares? So when you come in the market, maybe you've never seen this before. You can Google the wheel strategy, look it up on Investopedia. But what I've been doing on these ones I think have bottomed, and then they come down to support, I sell puts. You sell a put. When you sell a put, you have the obligation to take shares at that price. But the market pays you to do that. Like you sell that put, you get paid immediately. Now, most of the market out there is buying puts because they think crap's going down. That's just, kind of the way it works. The naive condition of the market, people buy puts, people sell calls. They do covered calls, they buy puts for protection. So what we're doing, it's called the Warren Buffett method or the wheel. I come down here to support, I sell a put. All right. And I get put those shares if it dips in or below my sold put price. Doesn't have to happen, usually does. Prime example of that, CMG down below my put price, although this will be crazy if it rallies above 49 today. It'd be absolutely crazy if we rally up here. Just prove I was right. Anyway, I sold 49 because I expected price to come down there, possibly hold it and bounce. We went just a little deeper. Happens. Sometimes it happens. And so I'm looking at getting put those shares. Now, what does that mean? It means your put got executed. You sold it. You have the obligation to buy those shares at that price. I will buy it at 49 if I get put those shares. Oh my gosh, I'm $3 in underwater on a whole bunch of shares. Doesn't really matter. I'm going to turn around, sell upside calls, at or above 49, get paid for the obligation. When you sell calls, you have the obligation to sell your shares. All right. If nobody's ever explained this to you and you're doing credit spreads, you should be very, very careful. When you sell a call, even as part of a credit spread, you have an obligation to deliver shares. When you sell a put, even as part of a credit spread, you have an obligation to buy those shares. Even with your collateral of a long put right below it or a long call right above it, you still have that obligation. So be careful. That's a risk in the market that a lot of people don't take into consideration. I try to always be willing to be able to take the shares, because how do you fix a credit spread? If you really believe you sold that credit spread at support and you're not just trying to take advantage of some short-term Bullcrap. If you really believe you sold that credit spread at support, you should be willing to take those shares, because you can take the shares and flip it around into a profit when it goes up. Or if you sold a credit spread on the top at resistance, sell those shares. Well, hopefully you get lucky and it drops. That's usually why I don't do much call credit spreads. There's unlimited risk to the upside. You see, stocks in general can go up to infinity. They can go down to zero. So you're limited risk on the downside, unlimited risk on the upside. But markets crash down, they don't crash up. It's another way to look at it too. So, golly. Hopefully that helped everybody. You can let me know if this conversation has been helpful. If not, try to come up with more helpful information. All right. Moving on. What's moving today? What's shaking? We got the target. Dun, 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 dun. We can keep grinding. We don't have to pull back. I'm very cautious, though. We have big major news coming up next week. Anybody remember what it is? Bueller. Right here. Wednesday. Trump out yesterday inspecting the FOMC's building construction. Oh my gosh, we spent $2 billion on that renovation. It still looks like a freaking disaster zone. I was like, what the fudge is going on? Trump's like, this is an unfortunate mismanagement of the construction project. I was like, yeah, $2 billion, no kidding. And he was saying he thought Jerome Powell was going to do the right thing next week. I bet not. I bet they're not going to touch rates. I bet they leave it at 4.5. I bet they leave it. Why? Because of this. If they cut rates, and they're at 4.25 to 4.5. Trump wants them to cut like 2%. Well, guess what? The market rate's right here at 4, basically. You can't, even if they cut a quarter point, they don't have any room between the market rate. There's no cushion right there. That's the problem. Because if the market rate takes off, if demand for 2-year treasuries drops, market rate takes off, they're going to have to raise rates to catch them. It's not about inflation control or anything like that. It's about chasing this rate. All the mainstream media, it's all bullshit. It's all about trying to keep the Fed's rate and the market rate relatively close together with a little bit of slush room. Try to keep them the same. Try to keep them the same. You know, they chase the rate. They're always chasing the rate. Chase it up, they chase it down. They chase it up, they chase it down. Happens all the time. They pause when the market rate looks like it's going to run away from them. This was Alan Greenspan. This was Janet Yellen. And this is Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell. He's in it for two of these. There's Greenspan. There was Yellen. Yeah, we're teetering on another problem. Every time this is crossed above, as far as I've been trading, that was the dot-com bust. That was the housing, great financial crisis bust. That was the COVID crash. And now, what are we staring down? Meme stock mania, and watch out, baby. Another red flag. Anyway, so S&P grinding here. Retail participation, all-time highs. Sitting at resistance. We can go on up to 65, 62. Probably unlikely without at least some sort of pullback, but hey, doesn't have to happen. Doesn't have to happen. That 20-day moving average. Let's see, EMA moving average. I just have an exponential. Let's see, EMA cross, EMA moving average, convergent divergence, MACD strategy, moving average simple. There we go. Let's tune this one in. 20 DMA. So right now, what we've been talking about, this 20-day moving average, number of days above, goes from right here all the way over here. As you can see, today's number 63. We almost broke below right there. So that's the streak we're talking about right there. Typically, we frequently dip below the 20. It's just typically we make frequent visits below the 20. This is an unusual time, unusual price section. Got to be careful. The market will set new records, but they all come to an end. We will get a retrace. Right now, that's down to 62.66. Looking at the 30-minute roadmap line, that's 62.97. 1 hour roadmap line. So that 20 is hanging out between the 30 and the 1 hour. That 20-day moving average. Watch out. Probably coming down eventually. Looking at the NASDAQ. Still have a little bit left, a little bit juice left to go hit that target. 23,460. Just a smidge above where we're at. Right. Just a smidge. Russell started turning a little sour yesterday. Remember, if we start down with any force here, things could get spicy to the downside really quickly. Real quick, like. And oil, I'm still thinking the way this is lackluster participating here, this is probably an A wave, a B wave, and we might get a C wave down. GC, continuing softness. That's what I was concerned about. We break below that uptrend of lows with the close today, probably coming down here. Might turn the weekly trade into a loss. That's a bummer. Bitcoin, man, this thing has been churning. Come on. We've actually poked lower low. That's kind of what I mentioned, that we might see that happen right there. ABC down, ABC up, and down. So part of an A, B, C. Absolutely beautiful correction. That's what I call it. Let's see if the proportions are right on it. So we had this initial high, turn on the magnet. We had that. And this looks like a running correction. Oh, we could see prices come on down. Support down here around 112.80. 112.8, excuse me. Ah. 112.880. We may see that dip right down in that zone. Which is funny. I said we might come back, retest before we can go higher. Right like that. It could come all the way back and retest the breakout too. Like we could come all the way back. That downtrend of highs right there. Come all the way back and retest it and then go higher. That'd be a common pattern too. Doesn't look great on the micro Elliott wave stuff that people have been following. I reposted a thing from Garrett Patton. He's really good at Elliott wave stuff. if you're more interested in the micro counts. But me, I kind of follow these patterns, and that shows support right down in here. Whether it's ideal or not, it shows support right there before we get a bounce and go potentially higher. That bounce, if we push down in that zone, sets us up for the next extension right up in this zone. Right there. Ethereum, yeah, interesting. Bitcoin dropped and Ethereum popping, so that means BTC.D, lower high, not good. Caution. Staring down the final move here. Final move of crypto summer. It's an indicator that we're coming to an end. Won't matter. I've heard so many people talking about how, yeah, it's gonna be different this time because we have U.S. government loading up. We got this happening. We got BlackRock in it. We got this and that and the other. And Galaxy Digital unloaded 70,000 coins last night or yesterday, causing some softness. We've got long-term hodlers. When 98% of the hodlers are in profit, which is what we have right now, there's profit taking, and it causes softness. And those people profit taking, they have intentions to buy it back lower. And when you got 98% of people in profit, it's probably more people willing to sell than there are willing to buy, especially if prices start eroding. Causes panic, fear, uncertainty, doubt, FUD. So just be careful. NKD broke out, but failed to break to a new high. May come back and retest before we can get the next leg up again. Dollar. Well, we held the 618 so far. So far, so good. It sets us up for, if we can break above, potentially come up in here. If we're going to be bearish, if we're going to be bullish, we'll hit the roadmap line. So if we stop here, probably come back down again, make a lower low. If we stop here, it's likely we retrace and get continuation up, and then retrace, test the roadmap line from above, and get some higher price action over the coming months ahead for the dollar. Looking at the Mag 7s, Apple still being weak, Amazon grinding higher, but still not busting out of here yet. We could go higher. 257 would be the upside. Google showing a little softness in this. We popped on earnings yesterday and brought some softness to it, grinding this gap down. We did this big gap down back in February. Now we're grinding it. And more often than not, we get a large negative reaction out of a gap like this. So be careful. Got to fill that gap. And a lot of times, because why? Psychology, all right? People stuck. They were stuck here. They doubled down, got stuck even further, maybe tripled down, quadrupled down. Now, price came back up. They were profitable, sold off. Now those ones that are holding out just to get back to even, when you get back out of being in a hole, you just want to get out. You're not looking at the upside. You're just like, thank goodness, thank you, market, for bringing it back, letting me get out. And you sell. And there's more people than you would imagine like that, especially big hedge fund type managers. Saved the position, got back out or scratch, causes big selling. Be careful. Meta, double top, potential to go down again. Be careful. Microsoft, we might retrace the breakouts. Wouldn't surprise me. Retrace back down to the breakout price right there, and then go higher. Higher for right now, 565. We don't have to get there. We might get there. NVIDIA, same sort of pattern. We haven't reached up to that 176 yet. Kind of expect it. If and when we do, watch out for same kind of situation as Microsoft. Retest the breakouts. If we can hold it, ramp it up. Next upside target up here around 212. Tesla experienced some softness. Our average pull down on earnings is 14%. That usually lasts 13 days. I'm correct. Let me pull that back up. Make sure I said that right. 6 days. Average 6 days of drop. So we got 6 days drop. Average of 14%. So we've got 2 days so far. Leaves us 4 more days, 2 days the weekend. So we got Monday, Tuesday next week. And then this thing might, on the average, potentially over. I never ran more statistics, so don't know the standard deviation on those. But there you go. There you go. Netflix probably coming back to the roadmap line after being fully cooked to the upside. Just a matter of how long. You can see it's on a nice slow trajectory here. Kind of, if you extend this on down, probably something mid to late August, if we're gonna get down there. And probably we could get a retrace and prolong it a little bit out to September, possibly. All right, I go pull everything moving $2 more up, put it on the gainers list, $2 more down, put it on the decliners list, hunt for opportunities. Lately, the gainers haven't been that fun and spicy, just targets, fix, Comfort USA, never even heard of this. Right up to the target. Logistics, trucking, right into the roadmap line. This stuff's been kind of bearish. Be careful, that may bounce down. We got extension. There's opportunity for this to be ABC correction or a 1-2 reversal. So let's take a look at it. 618, that's good, but still could be an AB or ABC, could be a 1, 2, 3. Run the 3-point fib tool, and we're still in the zone of a correction. Still could be an absolutely beautiful correction. This is typically the zone we stop. If it's that, we're going to get up here. If it's not, I mean, it can still be that, but tips the odds we're going bullish if we get up that high. If we drop back out of here, probably come in lower low. I would be bearish on this still for now until we prove otherwise. Be careful. That might need another whole nother leg down here, down in this 180 area. Look at that roadmap line bounce and a potential come right down in here, possibly as low as 180. That matches with this. That would be normal. See that kind of retrace there. It's my put. It was today, so expiration is today on my put. 287.50. I posted that on X, so it was mostly profitable yesterday. Didn't close out. I sold the 380 calls on shares I had. Those closed out yesterday for a penny, so I took 99% profit on that. Sam Adams, looking kind of bearish. Just got an alert from Robinhood. Let's see what it was. Check it out now. It's not like I'm making trades. Yeah, baby. And no trades on Robinhood, but I got an alert for something. All right, Deckers Outdoors into the roadmap line. Did that on earnings. One big move, probably going to retrace. Usually, I mean, one big move off a low does not make a new trend, period. Golly. AON. Well, let's see what we got. Potential first move down, retrace. Holding the 618 resistance. We've got this high right there. We're going to have to get through. Another alert on Robinhood. Alert, alert, alert. Probably alerting me because all my options are expiring today. Hey, need to pay attention. Upside for Eaton right there. 409, Carvana. Potential to come back to the roadmap line. Then we'll see what happens. Look at that. Hit. And we failed to go up to the 1618. Rolling. Rolling, rolling, rolling. We don't hold. Deeper correction. We don't hold. Deeper correction. Watch out. This one might be played out. Might be. EW. So, CarMax. Everybody know how CarMax works, right? You take your car there, you get a quote, no matter. They'll give you a quote for it. They'll buy your car for that quote. You have like a week to do it or whatever, or so many miles. So that model, obviously, not the most bangingest for the last 6 years of sideways, right? The open door, this crazy thing, they decided to do the same thing, CarMax model, but do it in real estate. I'm sure it's going to work out for them, right? This looks like a meme stock pop and probably coming back down here. Be careful. Don't chase that. Just thought I'd throw that out there. And be like, oh yeah, it's different for real estate. Yeah, right. You just pop online, you get a quote for your real estate. If you like it, just click the button to buy or sell it to them. They make it all like smooth and easy. You move the heck out of your place. They do whatever they want to with it and try to resell it for profit. So it's like glorified flippers, but that's kind of what CarMax is too. So anyway, AN, AutoNation. What the heck was that? That has to be some sort of misprint. Down to 0. This is a dealership that owns, multi brands. They have a Honda dealer here in town. AutoNation. Old Dominion rallying with SAI, but not looking super hot. Still working on. It still has upside to 188 and can still be bearish. Let's see. What is it? JBHT. Not listed on the U.S. market. No. Interesting. Can't remember the ticker for JB Hunt. Yeah, JBHT. There it is. And they're all looking the same. Potential for that to come down. Oh, gotta turn off my drawing tool. That low, that high, that low. And potential for 167 resistance. And then set it up. LH. Nope. Duolingo. Back to the roadmap line. Can we hold support in here? Not sure. Now, gap ups don't work the same as what a gap downs, so it's not like all of a sudden buyers are going to come in and shoot this higher. So that psychology doesn't work on the other way. It only works for gap downs, not for gap ups. Right now, we're looking for this to bounce, break through the 460 area, 575 on the upside. ELV, Levance, continuing to be weak. Broke through what I thought would be support. Next level down looks like these lows from back here. If we break through that level, might go revisit COVID lows. Pretty nasty and gnarly there. Let's see, let's check on UNH. Yeah, Lee, man. Come on to the target. Come on, come to Papa. I might even get long that if we get down there. I might. I'll think about it. PSX. A lot of these oil companies look like they're kind of topped out for now. So CVX, Chevron, Hess. I think the deal went through for Hess. Yeah, they delisted them. I think they actually closed that deal for Hess and BLO. And it looks like we're coming back down the roadmap line. 6. VRT. 181. Got to get through the gap. 181 on the upside. LU. They keep rocking and rolling. 390, 500. GNTX. Just not for me without a pullback. I'm a trend pullback continuation trader. I always get burned if I don't follow my patterns, so I just stick with that. This does have a gap down right over here. We're contending with. There, be careful. Can reject and come back down to the roadmap line. Estee Lauder. Got to grind through this to get higher prices. Coursera. Wow, what a pop. So bigger picture resistance. Wow, we came right up into that gap. We rejected it over here. I warned about it yesterday. We might go for the gap again. We can get above the, say, the $14, $15 area. Probably come back up and retest the 21 area. Kind of double topped in there. Slightly lower lows. So that could be the next big resist. You know, these two levels be the next two big resistance levels here. That level and then this level up here, around 21. Bah. Blue Ellen. 3-way move into the roadmap line. Continuation lower would be what I would expect off that move. 1, 2, 3. Same as when they come down and hit the roadmap line. And when they do a 1, 2, 3 and then bounce, same thing coming up. 1, 2, 3, bounce, come down. Expect lower. On. Yeah. Moving on down. AMD coming up into that prior high. And at some point, this is going to retrace. And at some point, NVIDIA is going to retrace. This one has a bigger potential downside right now. So we're back down around anywhere from 100 to 130 as the roadmap line comes up. QBTX, I'm not going to talk about that. H2, that's reverse split, garbage, absolute garbage. Do not trade that. Nope. Charter. So looking at the droppers, let's see what we got. First move, second move, third move. That's only 1, 2, 3. Probably going to get a 4, 5 on that move. Probably has further to go. Might get down to 3. Might get down below 300. And then it's not the most bullish pattern. I'd be careful. This might be hunting a lower low. ASML. Attempting to find support in the zone. If we can actually build a reversal off of this zone here. Move up, retrace, hold a 618, break higher, get through the roadmap line, set up a bigger upside. But right now, I'm not interested. We're just banging around in the support zone I drew months ago. It's funny how sometimes I get lucky on that. I'm warned about getting bullish on the ASML. LBRK. Let's pull this actually down where it's supposed to be. Triple top and drop back down to the bottom. Support is right in here. If we don't hold it, potential to go on down further. Right now, this looks like a potential first move, second move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we might bottom just slightly lower here. Somewhere there and turn around. Monsieur. And we push down through the uptrend of lows, so watch out. That can take a trip down here. Just prolonged it a little bit. Still potential take a trip down there. PNFP, Pinnacle Financial Partners. I think these guys have a local presence here in Knoxville. Yep, they definitely do. Recognize that logo. They finance a lot of projects that I've worked on. So that's not looking the most bullish. Probably going to get a dip down in the 65 to 70 area on Pinnacle Financial. ASTX, 2X on ASTS, HCA. First move down, retrace. Next move down, somewhere around 250. SNV. One candle. Or I guess it's so. Oh, we got to switch to. So it doesn't move very much each day. So yeah, I'm not touching that. Not touching that. And another one, not touching that. Coin. Rejecting off of the high. Watch out. This can retrace. That's why I got off of it on Connell. We can bring this back down to the roadmap line pretty darn quickly. Yep. That wouldn't surprise me one bit, actually. That zone. Come back, retest that support, and then go higher. So we may be in for some crypto consolidation. Could last a couple months based on 2021's price action. Solana getting whacked. ASTS hadn't busted through that 61 area. Last week on the profit panel, I identified 61. And we came up there. Now it's potential to retrace. Kind of like Rocket Lab, too. I'm off of Rocket Lab till we retrace. Not messing with that one. Delta, off of Delta till we retrace. We might come back down pretty. Like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up, complete. 4 support is in the vicinity of this right here. So back down around 45 to 47. That would be the next move I expect. Back down there. UAL, same situation. Potential 5 up. Complete. Looking for 618 retrace. Two, three, four, 5. Back down in the vicinity of the 4. Somewhere around 73, 70, 73, maybe even down to 66. So looking for that correction. Would I trade for it? Nope. 5s can extend. But that would be what I'm waiting for to get back on UAL. INTW. 3-wave up on this leverage long. Didn't hit the resistance. Turn it down. INTC must be getting whacked. Yep, there we go. Getting whacked. Can't get out of its own way. I bet this is going lower low. Probably. Might come down here into 10. SMU. ASTS long. No, this is that SMR long. That's that thing I found yesterday. SMR, grinding higher. We break out. 86 potential on the upside. Jump back up. Oklo. I added this to my bullish list yesterday, but I'm not selling puts here. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially complete. Looking for this retrace back in this zone. Put my alert right there. If we can get that, you know, the support's all the way down at 30, which is the 76 right now. Looking for that retrace. If we retrace there, hold. The next upside could be pretty spectacular, like ridiculously spectacular. I mean, watch this. Hold my beer. Look at these numbers. Talking about that number, 200, 300, 900. I'm going 800 on my target. That'd be a 1, 2, 3, 4, or maybe 3 stops here, 4, 5. So we were looking for 3 to go like this. This is crazy, right? Crazy. 4 come back down like this, and then 5 to match 1. And right around 6 to 800 right in there. Right up in there. That'll have to hit exact. I mean, that's got to get a lot of stuff right, but that's the potential right here. Caught my eye yesterday. Beautiful potential. But it all starts with the next retrace, which we need. If we don't do this, messes up all that. BITU, and leverage Bitcoin. Oklo, leverage long. Maybe you just want to buy some of this. Double down if we get the big pullback. And just sit on it. I don't know. UXRP, ultra leveraged XRP, taking a bath. Bulls. Triple, quadruple top potential. FUTU. Blasting on out. 191 potential. Rocket Lab, 2x leverage. FBTC, watch for that to come back down. To support, to the breakout, and before we go higher to 113. We kind of struggled here. Popped it. Retrace. That would be normal. PPLT. Platinum been the biggest winner this year in precious metals. Still has an upside to 160. Just taking a resty here at the breakout. Probably going to go even higher. And platinum has outperformed gold, silver, copper, all the others. BTCO, 2x leverage on Bitcoin. Still hasn't broken out yet. Shiny. 3x leverage on gold, junior gold miners. Watch for that to take a bath. Already talked SMR. SOLT. 2x on Solana coming back down. May do a 618 or deeper. So support down around 16. Setups set up for today. Not enough candles to mess with that one. ETSC, not the best looking pattern. There's the high, here's the low. I don't like the ones that all the price sections below the roadmap line. That doesn't give me, I mean, that's the downtrend. And you're in a counter trend. 97.95 doesn't look particularly strong to me. I mean, doesn't mean it's not a valid setup, but it doesn't look particularly strong. PPH. Here's the high, here's the low. There's the setup, 92.68. AT&T, nice bounce. Actually, really sweet bounce right there. That one looks best of the best today. 29.68 potential. And then Verizon, a little bit choppier. Kicked off an entry back here. Didn't make it $1 below the low, so it hadn't stopped it out. Set up a new entry, 44.50, which gets you out just above the prior entry right there. So be careful. That's kind of a downtrend on Verizon. AT&T, that's long consolidation. Dip to the roadmap line. That looks like we could go higher there. All right. Buys for the day. And don't forget, I'm live on Profit Panel at 11. If you want to come hang out. I don't have anything spicy that I know we're talking about, but we'll see. I think Chris Pulver and Alex will be on there today. And yeah, watch out for the retrace. That's my warning. We're already cooked on the upside. This one might be the one we're waiting on, and we're right there. 40 points away, which is nothing. NASDAQ can do that in like a hiccup. So be careful. We might see something on the downside developing. Be careful out there, everybody. This is time to... Yeah, I've been saying be careful, but now we're cooked on the upside. There's not much I would expect before we get another pullback. So be careful. Give me a thumbs up if you liked anything I said today. See you again on Monday. Same bat time, same bat channel. 9:15. We'll do